Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jonathan Montgomery. I'm here down here in Northwest DC. I don't even know what neighborhood I'm in, but I'm at this house. It's at 115 W Street, Northwest, and it's a fixer-upper. And I'm gonna check it out because it might be a great investment property. I wanna see, but we're gonna go inside. I'm checking out for the first time. I have not gone inside yet. I haven't even opened the door. And let's see what kind of potential it has. This is the house behind me. I like these Victorian style row houses. Let's go on in. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. We are almost at 8,000 subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure you leave your comments. Let's go inside. I've already opened the door, but I didn't go in yet. I can see that this does need some work. We got this peeling paint here. All of these windows probably will be replaced. I don't know if this works, but more than likely you're gonna wanna replace all that, and you're gonna have to change out the wood around there. So, the devil is in the details with these homes, with any type of renovation. There is some work to be done, okay? There's a lot of keys here. I got like tons of keys and I got some labels, but I can't read all of them. So it took a little bit of time to get into this house, but here we go. Let's check it out. Right away, I see the walls are stripped. Actually, let me close this front door because nothing like being in an old vacant house and then someone walk in behind you. I don't feel like dealing with that right now. Okay. So here we go. It's an old one. Now, when you're looking at a house like this, you already just assume that you gotta do everything. And you wonder if there's something that can be salvaged, or, you just get a general idea. You're kind of grading the house to see, is it a level 3 fix up or is it a level 6 fix up? Which means level 6 means there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Now, technically, well, actually, I'm not even gonna make a determination, but I think based on some of these cracks that I see in the wall, and they are sizable, and there's a lot. So this is gonna be potentially a level 5, level 6 renovation. I could stick a key through there pretty easily. Now, why do I say potentially? Because now, see, here's something else that I'm seeing, okay? This right here, this is taped on, but I can see the damage might not necessarily, it might just be the wall, it might be surface damage. It may not be foundation damage. And if it's foundation damage, that's a different problem, obviously. This house can still be dealt with, but now, I don't know, we have a lot going on here. So more than likely, you come in, you're gonna have to strip all these walls out. And nowadays, with these floor plans, people like open floor plans. So this is kind of how you're thinking about what are some elements that you might be able to salvage. Now, here we have this old fireplace. This is one of those things that, for me, I kind of look at it like, oh, that's kind of cool. Maybe that could be something that could be kept. But if I hire an architect, they would probably be better at helping you determine what little features should be left and what you should get rid of. So for example, I like the green tile here. This is kind of cool. But I can tell you right here that they tried to make it look cool, but it's not. It's whack. All right, now that's a pretty significant crack. All right. Now here's another feature that I love, and that's these pocket doors. I'm curious, and they actually work. Man, I'm surprised with that. They actually move pretty freely. They're not, it doesn't take much effort to get them in and out. So that's pretty cool. I think, and we have some over here. These are jammed in a lot more. They're kind of beat up. And in fact, actually at some point, someone they boarded this door in. So these might be on a string, on a pulley system, and that's why this one is not pulling out, because this one is locked in. But those are the types of features personally that I like keeping, but an architect might say, you know what? We have a better floor plan and it may not incorporate these pocket doors, or maybe you can keep the doors and use them and rebuild them in a different way in this house. See, so like you have these arches, these archways. This is something that, again, it seems cool, and I think a lot of people try to keep these types of elements, but you might need to get rid of it because we gotta look at what is the market saying, what do they like? What do potential buyers like or potential tenants like? But I like, this house has a lot of character. We got this old wooden banister. Again, this is a piece that can be removed. You can see it's actually loose. And if you decide you want to keep that element, then you run with it. All right, so let's go back here. I mean, this house needs some work. Whoever does this is gonna have to redo all of the walls. Here I'm in the dining room area. The floors, now look at these floors. These floors are actually in pretty decent condition. Yeah, they don't look great. They're not perfect, but I wonder if they could be sanded and restained, or refinished, whatever the finish is gonna be. But you do see some discoloration like over here, so there probably was a rug in this area and it maintained the floor. That's probably the color. Probably end up refinishing that if you kept these floors. Okay, let me see. This kind of stuff I see, like, this might be a property that we would purchase, and I'm trying to get an idea. Like, okay, again, I have a general idea how much something might cost based on the extent of work, the amount of work that needs to be done. So here's the old kitchen. Yeah, man, look at this old sink. I wonder if this thing works. I doubt it. Oh, snap, we got water. Wow, look at this old, man. Now, I'm not trying to turn this on because I do not want, I'm not trying to blow up in this joint. Cabinets are falling down, so all this is gonna be taken out. There's nothing salvageable here. And to that, on that, more than likely, we would tear all this out and probably take out this wall and just open up all of this here. And there's a good chance, see, I'm taking out some pocket doors here, all right? So there's a good chance you would remove this pocket door because we want to open up the entire floor plan. All right, I think before I go downstairs, actually, let's go outside to the basement. Let me see if I can figure out which key works in here. You guys bear with me. Oh, I got lucky. See, now I don't like this at all. This bugs me when people have screen doors, these metal bars that require a key. The reason it bugs me is if there is a fire in this kitchen, this is my only way out, and the last thing I want to be doing is searching for a key. Now, I know people do it because they're thinking of security, which, on the one hand, they're thinking, well, someone might break in, and that makes it easy for them to, they just break the screen and loosen that. But we have another door here, and, just like, man, I just need to get out of the house. So that's a pet peeve of mine. Here's our backyard. Let's go look at the back of this whole house. It's a typical DC yard. It's not gonna be too big, but it's gonna be long. And I can see in the back of this house, actually the structure looks pretty straight. So yeah, you gotta rebuild this deck, but I don't see any cracks or anything where the walls are collapsing. And I'm looking over here, this wall back on this side actually looks like it's in pretty decent condition. So I'm curious about that. We're gonna see. That's actually a positive for this home. Okay, so we have some back stairs that take us upstairs, but I actually wanna go through, I'm gonna go ahead and just check out the basement, okay? And then we'll go upstairs afterward. Now, I don't know, there's some lights on down here, so there is some electrical. And I always take stairs, especially in older houses, I go really slow because I've come across loose stairs in the past. Oh, okay, we don't have lights, we just have windows. And we have a ceiling in this basement that is quite low. In fact, I don't know if you'll be able to see me. Basically, my head is almost touching the pipes. It's gonna definitely touch this beam here. So on a ceiling like this, in this house, what would have to happen is you'd have to dig out the basement probably, another 2 or 3 feet. And that could cost probably about $20,000 to $25,000 just to do that. and you gotta dig it all the way out. And while you're doing that, you're gonna have to go ahead and waterproof this basement, which is fine because that's the time to do it. And that means you're gonna dig out a channel so that if water comes into the basement, the water has a place so that it will go. So I've seen people waterproof and they'll have like a channel going all the way around, and then you add the sump pumps. And it's a process. Now it could be less expensive if you can do this with a machine, but there's a good chance that you're not gonna be able to fit the machinery to get it out of here. So you're gonna have to do it by hand with a bucket brigade of people. So that's quite a process. However, doing it brings tons of value to a home like this because now you have more livable area that could be turned into a separate English basement or apartment and just brings tons of value. So you have to run the numbers and say, does it make sense to turn that into a separate, to dig all of that out? All right, so I'm headed upstairs. This house has a lot of potential. Now I have to tell you, I like these floors. It looks like they were finished at some point and they have some defects, but those can be incorporated into the overall finished product. So you kind of leave some of that in. Now this might be some sort of gunk. I'm not sure if this is a wood defect or not, but yeah. And we got these old stained glass windows. This is not gonna stay. Now you might take them out and kind of use them as a decorative feature in the plan afterward. And there's our closet. I tell you, they're not that big. Back in the day, I mean, that's maybe about a foot in. I don't even know if you can put a suit in there. My goodness. You got these old wooden doors. All of this, I mean, there's a lot of cool features in these houses. And I often wonder like, okay, what can be kept? But then what do you have to get rid of, you know? And that's something the architect is just, you know, they do that because I come up with ideas and it seems like it works, but it just does not quite have the same impact. Now, I don't know about y'all. I don't know if y'all can see this one. I'm looking at my neighbor's window over here. So then I'm wondering, is that a fix up too? From the outside, I didn't think it was. But anyway. So now we're in one of the bedrooms, and now I'm going into a second bedroom. And again, you know, great character. I love the shapes of these rooms. That's probably gonna be maintained. But we do have where the roof is probably collapsing a little bit. Well, it is collapsing. Not probably, it is collapsing. So that's gonna be something that needs to be dealt with. We have old wiring. I don't know what this wire is for. I cannot imagine. And I know that is definitely a code violation on some level. Who knows? They got duct tape holding, they got electrical tape just holding this thing in place. You know, that's crazy. So there's all sorts of fire hazards going on in here. There's our AC. Basically, everybody gets a window unit. So that's gonna have to be done. So a house like this, you're gonna end up doing all the electrical. You're gonna end up doing all the plumbing. Yeah, there's just work. So yeah, this is a level 6. Okay, we gotta get rid of that kitchen. Well, we're gonna check out that third floor in just a minute. So let's see, we got one bedroom. We have another bedroom here. This is our third bedroom with the stained glass windows. We got lots of cracks, broken, damaged walls. And here's our bathroom. Now, a home like this, I would probably add another bathroom, but this is the old school. I wonder if I just got lucky. Yeah, it still runs. The water still runs. Not bad. Once you gut this house, though, you're gonna get to where you can access all those systems a lot easier. If I just did that, trying to fix the plumbing or the electrical, it just costs tons of money more because the electricians have to do so much more. But yeah, we've had some water damage at some point. Oh, they left the key here. See, this is what you really ought to do. People just leave the key. Okay, so let's check out the upstairs because I came across a little, where was that? I saw a door and it had an upstairs. Oh, it has to be over here. Okay, sometimes you get turned around and get lost. All right, let's see what we got up here. Look at that. We got a third level. Don't have to add it. Doesn't have to be built up. Okay, so, okay. So we have a room, we have a bedroom here. Okay, I thought we lost it because I did not see an egress, but I come over here, I look around, and there is a window. So this is a room that could be used as a bedroom. And I have no idea what is back behind this thing. Let's see if we can open it. Okay. Yep, there's a window. It takes us to the roof there. So that's pretty cool. Gives us some additional living space, some square footage. So this is a bedroom. It could be a legal bedroom because it has potential for egress. It does have a window already. So that's really nice. We got our skylight up here. And then we have another room, another bedroom. So yeah, we got quite a few rooms in this house. Then you have to decide whether or not you want to, make this all one big space up here, which I think would be kind of cool. Just make it and actually turn that. Maybe you can get like another bathroom up here on this level. Somebody was doing some woodwork or some sort of work. But anyway, a house like this, you're easily gonna spend $200,000, okay? And I might still be a little low on that. I know some of you guys are gonna tell me, no, John, you gotta spend 300. But I've seen enough, contractors' bids and estimates to realize somewhere between 200, 250 nowadays. You gotta get through the permitting process on a home like this. Most of your permits are gonna be mechanical. We're not adding living space, but it could be, who knows? But this is definitely a home, even though it looks like you can kind of stick with the floor plan, you really want to modify the floor plan. So now the question is, does it make sense to purchase it? So let's talk about the numbers. Let me find a place to sit down. I'll probably go outside and we'll discuss the numbers. Okay, I found a little table and chair to sit down at, so I don't have to go outside. It's a little warm out there, so I think it makes sense to just stay inside. Even though there's no AC on here, it's a lot more comfortable. So this house, it's 115 W Street for those who are curious, Northwest. They are currently asking $975,000. So right off the top, well, let's see what we have. How many bedrooms and baths? They said 3 bedrooms, well, 5 bedrooms, okay, and 1 full bath. Yeah, I think that's about right. We did only see 1 bathroom. You gotta add another bathroom to this house. You gotta add probably a powder room on this main level. And I think you could even make a case to add 2 more bathrooms to this house. So 1 more on the upper level so that you have 2. And then on the 3rd level, add a bathroom up there. And then 1 half bathroom on this one. Then even another bathroom in the basement. But I would probably consider, trying to see if you can turn that into a full apartment with a ceiling height. Your ceiling height needs to be at least 7 feet to be conforming. You probably want to go a little bit higher than that just so that, it gives people, they feel a little more comfortable. And then, so you got to build that into the cost of renovating this home. Now, the cool thing is it often looks like, you got to spend money here, and people tend to kind of like take all of the parts and then say, this is what you got to add. But really, you're doing the entire house all at one time. So your budget is encompassing a whole house. It's not necessarily looking at, one part, and then adding it together. You're saying, how much is it going to cost to gut this house and redo the whole floor plan? That includes getting an architect, getting your permits, and of course I have our contractors, and then your materials. According to the county records or public records, it has 2,436 square feet, which is not too bad. Plus you have additional square footage, about 1,000 square feet in the basement. So all total you have, according to the public record, 3,400 square feet. Now I actually might measure this house and find that the public record is a little off. And I have a feeling they probably are not including that 3rd level because that was probably an attic at some point or an add-on that is just not being included. This house has a lot of, potential. Now, $975,000, that's the question. It's been on the market for 9 days. This is a probate sale. So basically you had someone, they left it with their family, and the family is going through the probate process because they need to sell it, probably will be paying off some debts. Now the question is the comps, okay? I pulled just a few comps for this area. These are the three highest sales in this area, in this neighborhood, in the last 6 months. One sale that sold for 1.5 million, another sold for 1.585, and one sold for 1.7 million. So if they're asking, ooh boy, 975 plus, another 200,000, you're gonna be in it for about 1.1 and potentially 975. Actually, you're gonna be in it for probably 1.2 because, so you really I would want to at least purchase this house for a little less than that, so that way I can have some margin. Ideally as an investor, you like to be in there at about 25, you like to end up with about 25% of equity. So your high end, you take 75% of that is how much you want to be into that house, and that includes your purchase and your renovation. So I don't know, I'd have to run some numbers on that and then make the decision on how much I actually would pay for this home. In the probate court and the courts and the whole estate, they can decide whether or not they like the offer. But that's kind of the process. What do you think? Is this a home you would buy? And what do you think about your approach? Would you try to gut the whole thing, or would you try to keep some of the bones and clean the walls? Technically, someone could come in and just clean the walls and make this without doing a whole lot of a full gut job. But I think you're gonna run into some problems with electrical and plumbing. That electrical is probably way too old. But I'm just curious, what are your thoughts? Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the like button for me, please. That is really good for the algorithm. We're almost at 8,000 subscribers. I just really wanna thank you guys, and I'll see you at the next home.